Welcome to day 1515 of What's Up to Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, sharing my experience and documenting the business journey primarily as I transitioned from brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And since the pandemic, a little bit of back and forth, and probably for the rest of my life, back and forth, back and forth. I've got some new projects in the works, which I'll share when that becomes appropriate. But for right now, I'm just filling people in on what am I doing online? What am I doing with social media? What am I doing every day to stay out and in front of the people that I'm here to serve? So for Supersize Your Business, it's a business group that I have that helps people to grow and build and supersize their business. We talked about the idiom, the expression down memory lane. This month, we're focusing on mental mindset, mental well-being, idioms and sayings for the month of March to coincide with the annual challenge. This year for the annual challenge, it's the BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. I decided that I would use my life framework, the framework that I use to kind of manage my life and everything in it, to coincide with the annual challenge. So the first month of the year, we talked about physical well-being. Second month, we talked about emotional well-being because it was Valentine's Day and there's birthdays and people I love in February. And then we switched to mental mindset, mental well-being in the month of March. April we'll do spiritual because it's Easter and holidays and spirit. May, I think, is, and I don't have my calendar here, so I'm not sure what we're doing, probably financial, and then relationships, and then contribution, confidence, and I'm forgetting one. Oh, communication. So those are the 9 areas. I switched to 9 areas last year in April as I started to get some coaching on confidence and communication. And I wanted to share the things that I learned in that training. Although I have to admit, I have not been participating in that a lot over the last month as I've been doing my own things and working on other projects that have had a higher priority than that. But I will make sure that I consume as much as I can of that content before next month, because I don't believe that I'll be re-upping with this particular coaching group. Great group, just not exactly what I'm looking for right now as I'm going through my own personal development and growth stages of my life, which is a ongoing lifelong practice, right? So down memory lane was our idiom today. And of course, it's a pretty popular expression. And our topic for the annual challenge today was thought triggers. Now, the tricky thing about thought triggers is we're thinking all the time. Even if we don't realize that we're thinking all the time, we're thinking all the time at a subconscious and conscious level, right? Our brain is always going 100%. Even when we're sleeping, our brain, our mind is going gangbusters, probably maybe even faster when we're sleeping than when some of us are awake. So if we're thinking all the time, just about anything can be a thought trigger, right? Can trigger our thoughts in a certain direction. Now, the trick is we want to trigger our thoughts in the direction we want them to go. We want them to be contributing positively to our life and moving us toward what we want, not moving us toward what we don't want. And I realized that the vast majority of my personal thought triggers, without consciously controlling them or having any type of management or direction set for them, has automatically been set on negative. So when anything triggers me negatively, my brain automatically runs with that. It doesn't say stop, cancel, because I've never thought about doing that before. It just runs with the negative until the negative gets bad enough and loud enough that my conscious pays attention and I shut it off. Not exactly what I want it to be. I want it to be that as soon as a negative thing pops up, I automatically shut it off and flip it to a positive. And so I'm going to have to work on that today and probably for the next week or two to make that an automatic thing that happens within me so that the things that are triggered by outside forces in the environment aren't negative and aren't impacting me negatively. I'm curious to see how that impacts my thinking and my life and my beliefs going forward. So I'll let you know. But I had that realization today that, oh, wow, there's so much negative in the world. It's why I turn off a lot of the negative things, because I know that they're triggering me. So thought triggers, interesting, really interesting topic. I've never really dug into. I mean, I know about triggers. I learned about triggers from Tony Robbins 40 years ago, but doesn't mean that I have set up all the different possible ways that I can have them work in my favor, right? It's kind of like that little voice in our head. It automatically, I don't know about for you, but mine automatically goes to the negative unless I'm pumping up my little angel and, negating my little devil, my little angel and devil on our shoulder. unless I'm doing that consciously, or unless I program that in my subconscious to filter out and say no to the negative and protect myself from that, it sneaks in. It sneaks in all kinds of crazy, insidious ways, mostly just through the massive amounts of negativity that are in our world. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling. And the more aware you are of it, the more you notice it. Like the way messages are sent to us through advertising, commercials, marketing. Almost all marketing is focused on the negative, the problems, oh my God, you have to solve this problem. And it's intentional because people respond to negative. I can't even remember the multiple of how many times more than to positive. The vast 97%, and I don't remember where these statistics came from, but 97% of people focus on and respond to the negative more than the positive. Only 3% respond to the positive and the motivational and the growth and the possibility side of things. And there's been, I'm sure hundreds, if not thousands of studies done on this that prove that people are more willing to protect something and prevent its loss than to go for something that they really want. So it's really fascinating stuff. And I guess the older I get, the more time I have to learn and explore things like this, the more fascinating I find them. So I'm still feeling under the weather. You can hear it in my throat. I'm drinking this magic, all kinds of craziness in a tea that my kids make whenever we're sick. It's lemon and cayenne and all kinds of stuff that's probably not good for me anymore, but it's good for my heart, so I like it. But super spicy stuff, but it does help clear up my throat and my head and help me be able to function. So I will drink it. They made it last night because they got sick too, so they made me some, and so I started drinking it last night. I'll drink some probably all day today. I'll sip some, and I'll have some coffee too because I like the caffeine and the warmth on my throat. But we all get under the weather once in a while. Although I did think yesterday that I'm going to have a thought trigger that I believe that I just never catch colds. I'm going to create and adopt the identity that I'm always healthy. I never catch colds or viruses, things like that. That'd be a good one too, right? I got to believe there's people out there that really never get sick and never have colds. So I want to find them and find out what they think, what they feel, what they believe, what their processes are, that they never get sick, they never get colds. Because there's a whole spectrum of us out there, right? In any type, or if for anything, there's, the whole bell-shaped curve. Average people get X number of colds a year. That means some people don't get any and some people get more, but the average is whatever number. I want to be on the end that never get them. So how do we deliberately make that happen? I like to ask myself interesting questions like that, and then just let my subconscious work on them and feed me up ideas and information and resources and things to look into. All right. If I can help you in any way, again, this whole week seems to be I've cleared my schedule and I am laying low and working on personal projects as I feel good enough to have the energy to do that. Canceled all my appointments and things and rescheduled them for later in the month because I can't serve people if my brain's fuzzy at the highest level, the level I think that everybody deserves to be served at. So instead of winging my way through it, I will reschedule when I'm feeling better. All right. But if you have a question, I'm sure I can still help you with the question. It's a good time to sneak into my schedule. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll be with you tomorrow just filling in on what I'm working on now. Have a great day.